Hear ye, it's time for the review. Trumpets blaring, horses neighing, all this stuff going on. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, let's go. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Let's talk about it. This is not a King Arthur we've seen before. Before we get into what the story is, let's talk about what the story isn't. It isn't a story with an established King Arthur. So scratch First Knight fans that want a heavy Lancelot story and or a long wavy-haired Richard Gere kind of character that his locks bounce as he rides his horsey. Not happening. As for fans of Excalibur, the film, and Liam Neeson, Patrick Stewart, and possibly a young S&M-clad Helen Mirren, not happening either, so you're gonna have to wait possibly for a sequel to see Morgana. And you're sadly mistaken if you think the story focuses on a young Arthur being transformed into squirrels and birds and fish and all that by a wizened Merlin, a la Sword in the Stone cartoon. Also means no Madam Mim, so sorry about that. No singing in this film. On the bright side, no Jerry Bruckheimer as well, so no story behind the myth, as in the tale of 2004's King Arthur. I still feel bad for Clive Owen in this film, and every time I see it on my DVD shelf, as I pass by it to get Kingpin or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I kind of cringe a little bit. And if you take your Arthur with a couple lumps of comedy, you'll have to grin and bear it, as no one is searching for a holy grail. Squires aren't clapping coconut shells, and rabbits are to be eaten in this film, not to be feared. So let's talk about what the film is, though. This is a Guy Ritchie film, first and foremost. King Arthur is secondary. From the comedic way his characters talk, interact, and generally slog on, without giving an inch to the muggy special effects that have become a signature for his work. His old London towns always looked like a chimney sweep that just rubbed across the lens before action was called, so you always kind of see a little out of focus with his CG. That being said, it wasn't boring to watch, and the mashups of his style and the myth were kind of fun. The story follows the cycle of good and evil as a young boy escapes a war zone to then be raised in a brothel and beat into a life of crime. From there, destiny and necessity start crashing against the true core of his character to become, I guess, King Arthur. As for the cast, Charlie Hunnam's King Arthur is a mixture of Turkish from Snatch and Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. I know you guys love that. A young, mouthy upstart that was forged on the streets and destined for destructive greatness. Side note, I'm happy to see him in a film that shows his talent and will hopefully give his career an upstart. Some of the last films weren't big enough or weren't really loved. As for Jude Law's Vortigern, he comes off as kind of a Loki ripoff with a Pink Floyd The Wall soundtrack running in the background all the time. I don't know why. Watch the scenes, you'll see. Action-wise, we get some fun swordplay and hand-to-hand as we film, and we also kind of see some video game superpowers. More than once I thought I'd play that game, or uh-oh, here comes the level boss. Not to say it isn't entertaining, we just need to figure out how to get King Arthur into the Justice League. Yeah. As for my review, I'll give it 3.5 stars out of 5. Better than average and a fun watch, really. Though I don't see this King Arthur being in classrooms or teaching kids literature anytime soon. That being said, like I said, this is a Guy Ritchie film. So the bombastic nature of it, the way they talk back and forth, and the way that the characters kind of explain the plot or explain the plan is 110% Guy Ritchie. So when you're watching it, you always kind of have to laugh because it is so much that. There's no way this happened in old times. There's no way a lot of this happened, of course, and there's magic and other things I'm not gonna get into. So wrapping up, Guy Ritchie film, King Arthur. It is very much his humor, his style. It is very now London for old London, let's say. So if you are a big fan of Snatch and his other films, you're going to enjoy this. And Charlie Hunnam fans, especially the ladies, he is very much shirtless a lot in this film, so you're gonna enjoy yourself immensely. And of course, if you want to watch more of our videos, perhaps, enjoy the kingdom that is ours, subscribe, why not? On the other side, if you want to watch more Charlie Hunnam talking with his accent and all his good lookingness, well then just watch our Sons of Anarchy interviews with him. We'll talk to you guys soon. Until then, the kingdom is strong. Long live the king.